Hey, what's up, you guys? Eric AFG here. Usually, I would be in a more happier mood to bring you guys a review, but this is my customized Peter Parker Marvel Legends. As you can see, uh, he's on the um, Everett Ross body mold. It wasn't an easy customization because this Peter Parker head is from a older Marvel Legends 7-inch Spider-Man figure. Um, I don't even have that Spider-Man anymore, but I kept the head though. And I think some of the accessories, like he came with alternate hands. He came with like a folded up mask, like when Peter Parker takes his mask off, and he holds it in his hands and stuff like that. So he came with that. So, you know, um, so that's what this customized body mold is right here. But Oh, and sorry guys, I don't have my hallway diorama anymore. I sold it. It was just taking up too much. It's taking up too much space on my table. So I'll probably get a different diorama, eventually later on. I don't know when, but more scaled down, so it doesn't take up so much room. It's like when I'm doing my figure reviews. So I still have more reviews coming up, guys. So just y'all bear with me. Like, if it look like I have a shitty background, it's because I kind of went back to basics. So, I just hope that y'all, could just look over that like y'all did before, my loyal subscribers. And just, I hope y'all can just look past that and still enjoy my reviews. Now, getting back to the topic at hand, I hope y'all do like my customized Peter Parker right here. But getting back to the topic at hand, yesterday, Stan Lee passed away. For those of you who don't know who Stan Lee is, which I think everybody who's anybody knows who Stan Lee is. But in case if you don't, Stan Lee is the creator of all the characters in Marvel, basically. With this very character right here being his most popular, Spider-Man, Peter Parker himself. So, I probably mentioned in my past reviews before about how I got into comic books. I figured that I had to. It started for me as a kid, growing up watching Christopher Reeve Superman, and then Michael Keaton, Tim Burton, Batman. Then Batman animated series broke on the scene, and X-Men, the animated series, broke on the scene. And I already loved Batman and Superman before I even got into their comic books. But with Marvel, ironically, it wasn't Spider-Man that really got me to love comic books. Now, he is one of them, but ironically, it was Wolverine. I thought that the X-Men characters were just so cool, like all of them, from Professor X to Magneto to Storm. Oh God, I loved Storm. Rogue, Jubilee. I never liked Cyclops. Sorry guys, but I never liked Cyclops. But Wolverine was the real standout for me. And I remember my mother brought me an X-Men comic book, and that was the first comic book I ever read. And it was, that's what hooked me. And ever since then, I've been a fan of comic books, all the comic book characters, and I have been reading them ever since. Now, when Spider-Man the animated series jumped on the scene, I think that was when I finally started to learn who Stan Lee was. Because I always heard his name, but I didn't really know who he was. And I remember the last episode of Spider-Man the animated series, Farewell Spider-Man. It was a great episode too. It was the final episode of the show, and Stan Lee cameoed as himself on that cartoon, and that was, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, that was the first time I really knew who Stan Lee was. Now, that was a cartoon depiction of him, but I wanted to know, so it really bugged me out when I saw him in real life. Well, I mean, I never saw him in real life. I never met him, and that's one of my regrets. But like once I saw him like on the news or whatever, I was like, oh snap! I was like, they really made him look, like how he did in the like the cartoon drew him pretty accurately, which was pretty impressive for even a '90s cartoon back then. But Stan Lee was just so influential. I don't want this video to go on too long because I'm gonna make a separate video about my thoughts on Stan Lee, but brief thoughts definitely in regard to Spider-Man. I know that Stan Lee touched like millions and millions of people's lives, just with the Spider-Man character alone, and I feel that way as well. I remember watching one of his interviews. I have the DVD of Spider-Man, the animated series, and one of his interviews is so interesting. I'll never forget how he broke it down. Why Spider-Man became who he became. And of course we all know the famous line, with great power comes great responsibility. But the way he broke it down, that this teenage kid, just like any other teenager, you get these awesome powers and you're not thinking about becoming a superhero. You want to go out and realistically make some money, do some other things like that. And that's what Peter Parker did. He wasn't thinking about the responsibilities of his superpowers. And once his Uncle Ben died and he could have prevented it, that's why Stan Lee wrote that line, with great power comes great responsibility. And that just doesn't apply. I mean, yes, it's a superhero book. Yes, it's Spider-Man's model. But I think Stan Lee was talking to all of us. We have responsibilities in this world. We go to work. We take care of our families. We try to do some kind of good in the world. And, it's for us to be responsible to do good and to be better. And that just really struck me as a kid. It kind of guided me in my life too. I know that a lot of people say that, oh, Stan Lee, he changed my life, and I really believe that, because in some ways, well, actually, I say in a lot of ways, I say that he changed my life too, just with the Spider-Man character, alone. No matter how hard things might get, no matter how much you might struggle, but you can still fight to do good. You can still be good. You can still be better. So yeah, Stan Lee, I'm gonna miss you. I loved you as a fan. I wish I could have met you, but yeah, I love you, Stan Stan Lee, and I'm gonna miss you. And I hope that you are reunited with your wife. I hope that you both are reunited in a better place. And rest in peace, Stan the Man Lee. Thank you for giving us these wonderful characters. Thank you for revolutionizing comic books as it is today, because of your remarkable work. And thank you for making so many fans across the world happy and celebrating your legacy that will live on forever. So thank you, Stan Lee, for my childhood. Thank you for my adulthood. I still love comic books and these characters because of you. So thank you. And hope you guys remember Stan the Man Lee for a very long time. So until the next time, see ya.